Hey Quilters, I'm Pam Heller, AccuQuilt's cutting expert.
And I'm Erica, AccuQuilt's creativity expert.
Welcome to our special trunk show called Threads of the World. Today we're celebrating the halfway point of our 2022 Paying It Forward campaign called Covering the World One Quilt at a Time.
That's right. Now this campaign is a collaboration between AccuQuilt and Moda Fabrics with Baby Lock as our sponsor. Together, one person from our teams is donating a quilt each week of 2022 to a charity of their choice.
And you and I are donating the last week of 2022,
so
aren't we?
You have to stay tuned till December to see our quilts.
Excited. Today's show is all about celebrating our teams and communities paying it forward donations. We have such special guests joining us today, including Emily Mosier from Ronald McDonald House Charities and Quilts of Valor member Marianne Fontana. They'll be joining us a little bit later on our show.
That's right. We have a lot of fun planned, including a montage of all the quilts that have been donated by our community at the end of the show. So be sure to stick around to see that. Now, without further ado, let's begin today's show and kick off with our first guest, Moda Fabrics team leader, Lisa Alexander. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. How are you?
Hi.
We're great to see you. We had some technical things, and here we are. I can hear you. You can hear me. It's great.
All a beautiful thing there, Lisa.
Now, first off, we want to talk about the success and the productivity of both of our community's quilters. Can you tell us how many quilts have been donated since the start of the Quilt the World campaign, Lisa?
So far, the quilts that have been logged in, there's 185 quilts that have been logged.
Wow, that's amazing.
I know a lot of times not everyone goes in and types in and
right.
No, our team is guilty of that, not posting all of them. So I'm sure a lot more have been donated. So encourage anybody out there, make sure you go in there and log your quilts in.
Yes, log your quilts in so we can keep track of them, because that's amazing.
And you're going to do that with hashtag Quilt the World 2022.
Right?
Right.
Okay. All right, so Lisa, hearing the amount of people who've made and donated quilts is truly inspiring. So what has been the most exciting aspect about this campaign for you and your team at Moda?
What's been super exciting to see is not only that the designers are involved, that's who we reached out to first to see if they wanted to be involved in this, but some of our employees. One of the girls in customer service not only made quilts and donated them to the Arapahoe Quilt Guild in Colorado for the fire victims, but she also collected more quilts from other people in the offices. Several of our sales team have gotten involved. Kathy Stump, one of our sales team, actually donated to a nurse in the COVID ICU unit. So we've got Tammy did cystic fibrosis.
I know I'm doing quilt a couple of weeks ago. Right.
And then several people did quilts for the Ukraine. So there's just such generosity and things that are happening. So it's been a great program to be a part of.
That's wonderful.
Now, Moda's always sharing inspiration and fun posts on their blog. So can you share with the viewers where they can find the Moda blog and what they can find there on it?
Oh, sure. So visit my.modafabrics.com, and our blog is under the Inspiration and Resources tab.
Okay.
There's all kinds of whatever's happening, designer features, you know, what's in stores, free patterns.
Love it.
Right now we're in the series of our blockheads, which is every Wednesday.
Right.
There's a pattern download for that. So that's a crazy group. And they're doing all kinds of great things there. So
that's right. And I didn't know about the blog until just a few months ago. So I've already gone online.
So much great information there and really inspiring.
I love it. Okay, so Lisa, one of the cool things Moda does is they donate a portion of its all-star book sales to charities. So we have some here in the studio. We have some more over here as well. Can you tell us a little bit about the All-Stars books and how they impact different communities?
Well, it started a couple of years ago with Jennifer Keltner from Martingale had the idea of putting kind of these collaborative books together. And it was a win-win for us because trying to get one designer to do a whole entire book and the time frame that takes. So they could each make a quilt. and then all the proceeds are donated to a charity. So like you have On a Roll Again. That's,
Yeah.
yeah, so we've
have this
got,
one.
I love the charity. This one is World Central Kitchen. So the thousands and thousands and millions actually of food meals that they've been serving. But we also have Project Jelly Roll Day coming up in September, the third Saturday in September.
that's right.
We should
So,
totally do
yeah.
Project Jelly Roll. Day.
Yes.
So it was one day, and now it's turned into probably a whole week. So all the stores are involved, and it's just a fun way. When we first started doing pre-cuts, people were like, "What do you do with a jelly roll?"
Sure.
It's like, "Well, sew it together. What do you think you do with it?" So
Make a quilt out of it.
now we have books and dyes and all kinds of
Yes,
things.
you can
Yes.
cut jelly rolls
Yeah.
with our 2.5-inch strip die quilters,
You
in case
can.
you were
Right,
wondering
in
how to
case.
do that.
Yeah.
Now, Quilters Moda and its all-star book publisher, Martingale, are giving us all-star books to give away to you, lucky registered viewers. Huge thank you to Moda and Martingale for helping to celebrate Quilt the World halfway point, and we're going to announce those winners coming up soon.
But Lisa, we heard that you have a sneak peek to give of the Moda prize. Okay, the Moda prize basket giveaway.
Yes.
Already, my heart is beating fast.
I do. Well, I couldn't carry it all, but this is
Let's take a look.
Couldn't carry it all.
Look at this.
Oh my gosh.
So this is just some of it, but every little pocket will be filled with either charm packs or books or pre-cuts and little goodies zipper bags and organizers that are filled with all kinds of notions and scissors and tools
my
and
heart.
charm packs. So yeah, I think it'll keep people busy and have plenty of fabric that they can make another quilt to give back.
There you go. There
That's
you go.
fantastic.
Okay.
Pam and I are just like drooling.
Yeah, and Lisa, if you ever want to, you can always use what I always say, Moda. It's not just grunge.
That's right. I
Not
was going to
just
say
for
we need to
grunge.
put a bolt of grunge in,
Yes.
in
Yeah.
there, right?
No, then she might faint.
Yeah, then we might do it. All right, Lisa, thank you so much for joining us today and discussing our Pay It Forward campaign. We appreciate you and all of your team and all of the efforts you've done.
Well, thank you for having me. We definitely appreciate our partnership.
You bet. We'll see you again soon. Thanks, Lisa. Bye-bye.
Bye, Lisa.
Okay, did you see that?
Oh my gosh, quilters.
If you haven't donated yet a quilt as part of the Quilt the World campaign, you have until the end of June to be eligible for our halfway point prize,
Yes.
which is, listen to this, $250 in Moda Fabrics and $250 in AccuQuilt.
You heard what
reward
she
points.
said. She couldn't carry it all.
It weighed so much.
Look at that.
Make your quilts, post them, hashtag,
Quilt the World
Quilt the World
2022. All right, now we will be announcing that halfway point prize at our July 5th show. And anyone who donates a quilt this year for the campaign will be eligible for the grand prize. That's valued at over $3,000. Now that prize, she's gonna need a forklift for that
She
prize.
is.
It's gonna include $1,000 in Moda Fabrics, $1,000 in AccuQuilt reward points, and a baby lock sewing machine.
all of those things,
All of it.
all of it. I don't think we're eligible, you and I.
I don't think so either.
Darn. All right, but the rest of you viewers are.
That's right.
All right, with all of these prize mentions, let's announce the 2 lucky winners of Moda's All-Star books. So we'll hold
yes.
them back up again.
We will. All right, the first lucky registered viewer and winner of 2 of the All-Star books is, drum roll please, Deborah T. from Snohomish, Washington.
Congratulations, Deborah.
Hey, we know how to say
We know how
Snohomish.
to say Snohomish, that's why
you
we
go.
can announce it. And the second winner of 2 Moda All-Star books is, drum roll please, KM of Van Leer, Tennessee. Congratulations.
Congratulations. All right, I better,
Okay, I looked at this one. This one is
Yes.
super cool, the jelly roll one.
they're all
But
wonderful.
This one is how to make table toppers.
Oh.
We'll talk about it later. We'll
They're
look before we send them.
Now, on the topic of our Quilt the World campaign, be sure to visit our website for details on how you can participate in covering the world one quilt at a time by going to learn.accuquilt.com/quilttheworld2022.
You can also follow hashtag #QuiltTheWorld2022 on social media to see fellow quilters' donations throughout the year. There have been some amazing quilts.
There
made,
are.
just
So
amazing.
go back on. You can still look up and see all of them. They're amazing.
All right, quilters, we have some special offers and markdown bundles available for you today. To get your order in during the show, use your phone's camera to capture the QR code, and it will take you directly to our site.
And if you don't have a QR reader, just open a new tab in your browser. Type in AccuQuilt.com/party to see the bundles. You can place your order. You're not going to miss a minute of our show.
Now, to start off, if you didn't know, just last month we released the new Gocube Mix and Match 5-inch block.
Yes.
Today, we are offering, listen to this, quilters, 15% off the brand new 5-inch cube and its bundles to add to your collection. I know we never
do this. So quick, order yours before somebody figures out what they did.
Right. No code is needed for this fantastic offer, and be sure to take advantage of our pricing right now to beat that July 1st pricing.
That's right. And while you're there, check out the summer warehouse sale for selected items that are marked down up to 50% off. This is a great time to stock up on several products to enhance your projects. No codes needed for that offer.
And it certainly is summer in
It
Nebraska.
certainly is.
Plus, you'll get double reward points if you place your orders today. These points can be used towards future AccuQuilt purchases.
That's right. You can also find many of our products at your local AccuQuilt retailer. To find the retailer closest to you, just check out the store locator. It's at the top of the page at AccuQuilt.com.
And you can quilt now, pay later. For more information on financing through AccuQuilt, visit AccuQuilt.com/financing.
All right, quilters, now today is all about celebrating giving back. And back in April, our parent company, Tech Brands, donated several quilts to the Omaha chapter of the Ronald McDonald House, in addition to a sizable financial donation at the end of last year.
And this donation was very close to the Tech Brands founder and executive chairman, Steve Nabity, whose family stayed at the house years ago while his child received medical care.
That's right. This donation was a way for Tech Brands to show their appreciation to Ronald McDonald House for providing much needed comfort to families across the country, including our founder, Steve.
Now, with that in mind, we invited our next guest, a local representative of Ronald McDonald House, to be part of today's show. Welcome to the show, Emily Mosier. Come on in, Emily.
Come on in.
Hi, how are you?
Hello, welcome.
Thank you. Your last name right?
You did, you nailed it.
Oh, good job.
Good.
That's always the best.
All right.
Yes, great
Always
job.
the best.
Great
All right,
job.
well, we're so happy to have you
Thank
here.
you for having
Come and sit with us.
me.
We don't get live people
No,
very often.
no, we get Zoom to people a lot.
All right, so can you tell us about Ronald McDonald House and how the charity works to help families?
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. We love our partnership with AccuQuilt and everybody out there that's provided for the houses all across the country. And really, Ronald McDonald House is trying to do the same things that you all do, provide warmth and comfort and joy. And you all are amazing at what you do. And we're surrounded by beautiful quilts and blankets right now. And that's how you guys provide that, right? And so we try and do that with providing a home away from home for critically ill children and their families. And so again, you provide these blankets. We just provide a bed and a warm shower and a hot meal in the evenings, quiet reading spaces, fun play areas, and many more things.
Yes.
And I think that's why this partnership is so beautiful, because these families get to the house and they get to receive something that says, we're thinking of you,
Yes.
you're welcome here, and you all really provide that for us. And you know, since the first house was built in 1974, the Ronald McDonald House has grown to be over 185 houses in the U.S. alone.
That's fabulous.
It's fabulous.
Okay, and where was the first house built?
Philadelphia.
Okay.
Yep. So the way
Trivia.
I know.
Yes.
Put me on the spot.
Tuesday
trivia.
trivia.
No,
I'm glad she knew, actually.
Yeah, and you know, each chapter operates autonomously. You know, any donation stays local, but it really provides such a strong support network through their chapters, and I feel like this is such a supportive community too. And again, it just really helps make this partnership make sense, and it really makes sure that we're woven into the fabric of each community. So
I like that.
you know, with each Ronald McDonald House, but also with the community members that help make our house a home.
So our viewers are watching today at home. How can they get involved locally or even nationally with Ronald McDonald House?
Sure. You know, there's a lot of different ways. I would encourage you to just reach out and see what the local chapter needs at this time. Obviously, donations to support a family staying that is always helpful and really needed. Our local chapter, we've been working really hard to make sure we can open up for volunteers again. So we've got AccuQuilt coming in to cook dinner at the end of the month.
Listen, not only can we quilt, but we can cook.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
We
Now,
do.
when
Oh
is
my
that
gosh.
happening?
At the end of this month.
Oh, right, because I have it on my calendar like at 3 o'clock.
Yes, perfect.
Yes.
I'm so
Okay.
excited.
Yeah, it'll be super fun. I'm excited.
Yeah. So I would just encourage you to reach out to your local chapter, see what the needs are. Again, monetary donations are a huge help, and we're just really appreciative of everything that you all do for us. So thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right, well, Emily, thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
coming on our show
ladies.
today and talking about Ronald McDonald House and all of the wonderful things that you do. We
Absolutely.
appreciate it.
Thank you both so much.
All right,
Thank
and
you.
we'll see you at the end of the month because
Yes.
I'll drag Erica. It'll be
Yes.
fun.
Okay,
It'll be
yes.
fun.
Awesome.
Right,
Thank you
thanks,
so
Erin.
much.
Okay, super fun to have Emily in the
Super
house.
fun to have her here, and I can't wait to go and help make dinner at the
I don't
end
know
of
what
the
we're
month.
cooking, but someone will tell us.
I'm sure they will.
They'll be in charge.
Well, today's guests have been so inspiring to speak with, and with our Quilt the World campaign, it's been so much fun to see all the quilts, but also all the charities that have been donated.
So many charities. And AccuQuilt makes quilting that much more efficient and easy and fun, so you can get involved with donating your creations.
That's right. And AccuQuilt provides so many opportunities for quilters to make their own patterns, but also to recreate patterns.
That's right. Okay, now, we've talked about this before. Whenever I'm traveling or whenever I go to a quilt store and I see a quilt, I find myself looking at, and in my quilting head,
Yes.
saying, let's break this down and see what dies we use to make it.
That's right. And
you
you
know?
know that I do the same thing
Yes.
too, and sometimes we have to call each other and do it over the phone.
We do. We do.
And in my quilting head, I go straight to the cube system.
Yeah.
So figuring out what dies I can use to make and create the pattern quick and easy, we now have 7 different sizes of cubes for you to choose from. 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, and 12. The key to using the cube system is remembering that no matter which cube you work with, the shapes inside are all the same. They're just different sizes.
Right. And I think that that's really important to remember as quilters,
Yes.
is that they're the same shapes, they just come in
Right.
different sizes.
Right.
Okay, so this is our brand new 5-inch cube. Hey, I don't know if you know this, but it's 15% off
Which
today.
never happens
Never.
with new
So
products.
if you're looking for a cube, I'm loving the new 5-inch size.
I am too.
Okay?
I am too.
All right, so should we open it up and take a look?
Yes, indeed.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna pull out the skinny one first because then we don't break a nail.
That's true.
And do you want to talk about what's in there?
So inside the little one, you're always going to get your pattern booklet, but you're also going to get your mat. And I'm going to grab that out because
Grab a mat. I have
you got to
one
have
here
the mat
too.
to make the magic.
Yes, nothing happens without a mat.
That's right.
All right, and then we're going to open it up.
Bring it away.
We're going to talk about just some brief things about the cube system. We have lots and lots of videos.
Yes.
On how to use this system, how to cut with this system. You can find those on our Facebook or YouTube pages.
That's right.
Okay. So the thing to remember is that the cube system is based on a 4-patch system.
Right.
Right. So every shape number 1 in every cube is a square. 4 of them sewn together, in this case, would make a 5-inch finished block.
Right.
Don't think I'm getting the 5-inch cube, it's going to cut 5-inch squares.
There's sewing involved.
Sewing involved, okay? And then shape number 2 in every cube are smaller squares. Really important to remember, sometimes on the shape there are multiple shapes.
Yes.
So if your pattern says cut 4, you only need 1 piece of fabric.
Right.
Okay, Erica, what's your favorite shape? Because it's mine too.
Well, it's got to be the half square triangle
Yes.
because if there's one versatile shape that you can do almost anything out of, it's a half square triangle.
Yep.
So our half square triangles are so special though because they've got those dog ears removed from the corners, which means that you can see exactly where that 1/4-inch seam allowance is going to lie. And it also means that when you press that open, not only is it going to be perfect, no trimming, no going back.
No.
It's just done.
Just the other day,
just done.
just the other day, I was with somebody who said, now I've cut all these half square triangles and sewn them together, now I'm going to trim them.
And
I said, there is a die for that. Okay, shape number 4 in every cube are 1/4 square triangles. So just like our half square triangles, it has those dog ears and 1/4-inch
Yep.
seam allowance built in. Okay, so those are the first 4 shapes. Quilters ask us all the time how to store your dies. This is how you store them, like books on a shelf.
That's right.
Don't stand them on one on top of each other. They will
Yes, the one
damage.
on the bottom.
It gets smushed.
Yes.
Okay, shape number 5. So in every cube, there are big squares and little squares. Big half square triangles. These are small half square triangles.
That's right.
And there are 8 on this die board.
You can cut so many so quickly.
So many. I did a project the other day using 5-inch
And
cube.
it's a secret project, but boy, is it
It
cute.
is a secret project, but I cut 198 half square triangles in like 30 minutes. Okay?
I bet it didn't even take you that long.
No, I watch TV. Okay, so shape number 6 in every cube are square on point. Again, there's blades here. That's so you can make square and square.
Right.
What's
so
the shape you need on the outside, Erica?
It's that small half square triangle. So it is just a square, but the measurement is a little bit off, and that's because we've done the math for you, so you can just put those small half square triangles on the sides. It'll equal to shape number 1.
And when Erica says we did the math, not we.
Not we, actually. That
Somebody who
means it
has
was
math.
somebody other than us.
Shape number 7 in every cube is a parallelogram. What's important to remember about this, Erica?
It is a directional shape.
Yep.
So it is not the same as a diamond. The sides are not all the same length, and so you need to pay attention to your pattern, whether you need to cut with your fabric right side up, right side down, or whether you need pairs that are half up and half down.
Yeah, it's important. And then shape number 8 in every cube are rectangles.
That's
2
right.
are on this die board. So those are the basic 8 shapes that you need. The shapes are the same in every cube. They're just different sizes. All right, so should we lay out some fabric and cut
Let's
some?
do, because we're going to talk about all the things that you can do with half square triangles, so I think that
I'm gonna
means
find
cutting
you some pretty fabric.
I love pretty fabric.
Will you cut some of that?
Oh,
and
I would
talk
love
about
to.
lengthwise grain, because
So
that's
lengthwise
super
grain, and this
important.
is perfect to show this because we've got our selvage edge right here. So you can see that's going to be the tightest weave of your fabric. So I want that to be going lengthwise into my cutter. And I want to run parallel to those blades. So yes, I am in fact putting this at an angle, and then I can fan fold, but I'm going to be sure that fan fold this way, just like that.
And how many layers of cotton can you cut?
Up to 6.
Yep. And here are those 8 smaller half square triangles.
Yes.
Measure from here to here at 1/4 of an inch, rough cut.
Fantastic.
And I'm just gonna cut a few. I wanna leave it like this because I wanna show you a trick.
Go for it.
I know. So quilters, don't be worried about this little tail. How come, Erica?
Because there are no blades inside the cutter, they're just inside the dies. And the only things that are going to cut is what's on top of the die, covering a blade, covered with fabric, covered with a mat.
Yep. All right. Now we're gonna use our Go Big today, so I can run 2 of these in one pass. Look at that.
Ta-da!
So if one die cuts 90% faster than rotary cutters or scissors, 2 is going to cut exponentially faster.
Way faster.
Give it a love. Boy, is it hot and humid in this dream studio
it
today.
is hot and humid.
Okay, but we're going to pull these off.
So with half square triangles, they're going to match up.
everywhere.
They're everywhere. But you can think about the things that you can do with them, because you can do half square triangle units and lay them out like they're flying geese.
Oh, yeah. See here. Let's make some. Oh, they're not. We don't have 1/4 square triangles.
We don't have 1/4 square triangles.
But it's okay.
But if you put the units together, you get the effect. You can do kind of chevron looks. I mean, there's just
Oh,
a
yes.
lot of looks that you can get.
With the Go Me, there are only 2 dies. 1/4 square triangles, half square triangles, right?
You can do so many things.
So many
with them.
things with those half square triangles. So look at those little fun half square
Yes.
triangles. And then you can do these as well. So I love the little tiny ones.
They're so fun. And they
super
cut
cute.
so perfectly. Now, quilters, we just heard from Emily Mosier of Ronald McDonald House, which is where MODA team member Barbara Groves donated her quilt to. Now, Barbara used her Frenzy pattern, which is a free pattern
Look at this.
on Me and My Sister Designs website. Isn't this fabulous? And it is so adorable. It is just scrappy goodness. And it is a great pattern for die cutting, and you can make it with any size of cube. So look at that. We've got half square triangles. Those are half square triangle units.
Right.
And
And are there
I
squares
think
in
there might be some squares in between the rows.
Right. Right.
Look how sweet that is.
That
And
is darling.
It's scrappy. It's got all the colors.
And I like it because you could just randomly pick your colors, right? You just cut half square triangles and sew them together.
It's just, and it's
And
just
I think
happy.
it might have a straight binding, which is my thing for 2022.
Well, there you go.
All right, so stop and think about, when we talk about scrappiness, tomorrow we're gonna talk all about scraps. Think about your scraps.
Right.
Do you have big scraps? Do you have little scraps? And that will help you decide what size cube would be the best fit for you. And remember, there are big and small squares and half square triangles in each and every cube, right?
That's right. But here's another great thing to remember. If you're going to be donating that quilt, do you know where you're donating it to?
Yes.
Do they have color or size restrictions or suggestions? What about fabric types? Now, you want to be sure and check out the organization's website to get all of that information. The bottom line is, no matter how you choose to share your quilt, you want to be sure that it's a fun design to work with, to receive, and that cutting it with AccuQuilt is not only going to be the easiest, but the fastest way to get you started.
Right. I think that that's important, the colorway and the
Yep.
Black slice. So I'm going to donate, the top is already made. I used the Go Big Crazy Quilt block.
Oh.
And I just used, I had a whole bunch of fat quarters that I just cut it up and sewed it together, and I love it because it's bright and beautiful.
There we go.
All right, and quilters, there are so many great AccuQuilt dies for creating quilts that you can donate, but we know what you're thinking. Sometimes you just want to make big blocks, especially ones that are quick to sew, quick to cut and sew together. And when big is what you're looking for, you can't go wrong with our biggest cube, which is the 12-inch cube.
That's right.
I have to say I use it quite often.
Yes, I actually do too. That
Yeah.
and the 10, they're
Yeah.
right up there. So it's perfect for any quilter, especially one who wants to make a lot of quilts or to use a lot of fabric or perhaps scraps.
Some of you might have what we call a stash.
You might. That might mean that you have some extra fabric laying around looking for a project. And
Right.
don't forget, we've also got matching companion sets and setting triangles as well. And those dies will all fit in a Go or the Go Big electric
Right,
cutter.
quilters think, oh, the 10-inch cube, you have to have a Go Big, or the 12-inch cube, no, they're gonna fit in your Go
No,
cutter.
they absolutely
And
will.
I just, when you were talking about that, today that 5-inch cube is on sale. Boy, get you some 5-inch setting triangles.
Oh, yes, and the companions if you don't have them
Yeah.
too.
All right, so we've talked about the basics of the Gocube. Let's look at some projects using Gocubes.
All right, let's do it.
This is one I made for my nephew Bear. Not this one, he has it.
He has it.
But this is the pattern.
This is the Gocube 12-inch confetti quilt pattern. Now this is so fun, and it's big, so we folded it down so that you could see it. But it uses shapes 5, which is the small half square triangle.
Right.
7 is that parallelogram, and remember it's directional. And then we've got a strip die that we used. It's super, super quick and easy. They make fun big blocks.
It's darling. And let's show you the back because it's beautiful.
I may or may not be using this pattern for my donation quilt
It
coming
was
up.
really easy when I did it for Bear. I just had to make sure that I was cutting all my fabric facing up.
It's really sweet.
Okay.
The next one we've got is, such a gorgeous quilt. This is the Gocube 12-inch pieced heart quilt. And this is Dear Stella's Flirt Collection fabric. Isn't this fun? I'm going to hold it
Okay,
out.
I totally forget we have this pattern.
This is so fun, but let's take a look. We've got rectangles, we've got a square here, we've got a flying geese, so that's a small half square
see a
triangle and a
parallelogram.
quarter square. You're on the back side.
I can see a parallelogram.
Here's big half square triangles. Here's our parallelogram.
See? I
Like your
knew.
mother always said, she had eyes in the back of her
I
head.
know. And look at the fabric on the back.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Just beautiful.
This is a,
I like this one, Erica. I forget that we have that
I
pattern.
know, that's what you said.
Every time I see it, I think
I
that.
love it because it's got that scrappy low volume background too.
Yeah.
Now this is the Gocube 12-inch cutting edge throw quilt pattern. This is Robert Kaufman Fabrics. This just screams fun. But again, this big blocks, it would be super fun to make and just would be cozy for anybody. Again, we've got rectangles. Here's our chisel shape.
Yes, with shape number
Here's
5.
shape number 5, the small half square triangle, and then rectangles again.
And just like the parallelogram, that chisel shape is directional.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And look at that fun fabric on the back.
It's like confetti, and I would count that as a stripe binding.
Definitely.
That's what I'm doing in 2022. All my finished quilts.
All
have
the stripe bindings.
all the stripes. Erica was on vacation. She got me striped fabric.
I
That's
did.
the sign of a good friend.
It is. So this is the Go Fractured Star quilt pattern, and this is fun. This makes a big, bold block. This is using the 12-inch cube and companion set angles. So we've got actually, this is like an 18-inch block.
And it looks
How
so
fun.
complicated to make. It is not.
It is not complicated to make.
Those
We've
half
got
rectangle
half
triangles.
square triangles and half rectangle triangles and squares.
It's just super easy and it's so fun. Use the 12-inch cube, make an 18-inch block.
There you go.
Oh, and look at the fabric on the back.
Oh,
I
pearl
believe I
bracelets.
have this in blue.
I think I have some of that green.
Yes.
All right, this
How you
one
know you're a
is
quilter.
fun. Yes.
Okay.
This is the Gocube 12-inch far out groovy quilt pattern. This is Riley Blake Designs. These are Sundance cotton collections, and boy, they are sunny and fun.
And this is almost like an inverted churn dash, but you're just going to use those half square triangles to
It's all
make it.
half square triangles, and that's how you
So
create this whole
pretty.
look.
And it looks like it's on point, but it's not. You're just going to make
Not.
it.
Cute
Oh, so many
fabric.
fabric, so many patterns, so little time.
I
Look
do
at that.
love that
fabric.
tealy, aqua-y.
You are into that.
I'm into that. It's my
You
thing.
have a whole bathroom full of that color. Okay, this one is made with our brand new 5-inch cube. It is called the
Yes.
Go Rainbow Swirls Throw Quilt. It is by our good friend Bea Lee of Be a Quilter. Okay, everything about this makes me happy.
It is a happy quilt, and it is a happy scrappy quilt too.
Right.
And I love how she's grouped, you know, kind of like colors together, and it's
turn
really
the-
two different blocks.
Right.
They're all turned on point, so she's used those setting triangle
Yep.
to set them on point and get such a fun look for it.
Right. So 5-inch cube, 5-inch companions. You can make this and get those 5-inch setting triangles.
Yes.
And look at the back.
Oh,
I
and this
do
is-
love a good polka dot.
Yes, and speaking
Maybe
of polka
next
dots,
year. That's what
will
I'll
be
put on
the year
my
of the
binding.
polka dot binding. So this is the Go Shoe Fly Spin Throw quilt. This is by Marjorie Busby of Blue Feather Quilt Studios, and this is really just 2 blocks. So we've got a traditional shoe fly right here, and it's made with our 5-inch cube, and then here's our other block.
Okay, so
And then
Erica, normally
borders.
we talk about a 2x2 grid. This is a 3x3 grid.
It is.
So how big are those finished blocks?
Well, so these are finishing at 2.5. So 2.5, 2.5 is 3, right?
5 and
5
7.5.
and 7.5.
Takes 2 of us to do math
Been on vacation.
She has, but look at how fun that is. So this is great because we've taken that 5-inch cube and made bigger blocks.
That's right.
Okay, all of these patterns are available as free downloads at AccuQuilt.com. Be sure to get your patterns
Wonderful.
downloaded before your cube arrives so be ready to go. But remember, quilters, you can make all these patterns with different size cubes.
That's right.
You just have to adjust the fabric, and I'm sure you have plenty.
We do.
Just saying. Quilters, if you're looking for even more fun and inspiration, join me every Wednesday at 12 noon Central Time for AccuQuilt Live. Okay, I am so excited about tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to use the 5-inch cube to make blocks from absolutely, hands down, my new favorite pattern.
Yep.
It is called Go Sprockets. And it is totally scrappy, so when you come tomorrow, bring your scraps, and you can follow along, and we're going to cut out these. It has 2 blocks, and it's fun. Make sure you register for the chance to win an exciting door prize, and we have tons of fun. Hope to see you there.
All right, now quilters, don't forget we've got special offers available for you today.
do.
Starting with that amazing 15% off our brand new Gocube Mix and Match
wonder
5-inch
if they
block
know.
and bundles. I don't know.
I don't know.
No code is needed to redeem the offer at checkout. It's just showing up that way. Go for it.
And remember, I was starting to get a drink. Sorry. You'll get double reward points when you place your orders today. These points can be used towards future AccuQuilt purchases.
Now, this month's die to try, the Go Deer Head die, is available with a 6x12 Go cutting mat, and its embroidery design with blanket, satin, and motif stitches are included in the bundle. Take advantage of this special introductory pricing before the end of the month while supplies last.
Now, we made the funnest block with it last week. We just used our 10-inch cube and made this super fun, easy block with our deer head die. It was great.
I leave town, she does all kinds of things.
We also released the Go Emojis die, heart eyes. as part of our permanent collection, and the Go Emojis Crazy Bundle to your collection as it's part of our special introductory pricing to make impressive projects, all the ones you can imagine. Circles. Never cut circles by hand. That is
Absolutely
silly.
not. Get those circle dies. It's a great time to pick them up.
'Kay.
And that emoji die is so fun.
We have talked about it. We've used it
You
last
think
week.
you're not going to use it. You think, what am I going to do with
Did
this?
we
You're going to
not?
come up with so
Yep.
many reasons to use
We
those
put
shapes.
sunnies on the deer head. Remember last week?
Oh.
Was that just last
How
week
fun.
or 2 weeks ago?
Now, quilters, with today being about pay it forward, see, we're going to bring it back
I
to where
know.
we were.
We gotta
We
beat it.
want to know, what is your favorite charity to give to, and what do they do?
Now, there's no voting poll today, but be sure and let us know in the comments section wherever you stream our show. And our good friend Madison, who is moderating the comments today, she's here in the studio. A little later, she's going to give them to Eric and I, and we're going to share your favorite charities that you
That's
like
right.
to donate to.
That's right. And since we're talking about charities and places to donate, we've asked Quilts of Valor member and AccuQuilt expert Marianne Fontana to join us today.
That's right. Marianne is a quilter, a textile artist, a self-taught sewer who started at the age of 8.
That's right. In addition to being an AccuQuilt expert and designer, she creates and sells her own quilts, patterns, and other textile arts on Etsy, produces free educational quilting videos for YouTube, and volunteers her time for 2 great causes, which she's going to discuss with us here today.
All right, welcome to the show, Marianne. How are you?
Hello. Oh,
I'm great. How are you, Pam and Erica? It's great to be here.
It's
she's
so
got
fun.
her look-alike doll.
She does have her dolly.
Yes.
I love it. All right, so Marianne, you're here to discuss 2 causes that are important to you and close to your heart. The first organization is called the Giving Doll Project. Can you tell us and our viewers about how you found this organization and your involvement with them?
Yes, actually, it's quite interesting. I saw an article in our local paper about a woman who is the regional head of the Giving Doll Chapter, who happens to be a member of my Jazzercise group.
Of course.
And I approached her and asked her, she's on the right, her name is Carolyn. I said, how many of these dolls have you cut out? She goes, I've cut out over 3,000 of them by hand.
Oh my
I
goodness.
said, we can make a die for you for that.
We
So
can.
I went ahead and I contracted with AccuCut, which is a sister company of AccuQuilt, and I had a custom die made. And I
Yes.
think there's a slide of it if you go forward.
Yep, one more. There we go.
There we
that
go.
one, that is actually what I have, and that is what I do. I cut approximately 500 dolls out a year for them. Now, once the dolls are cut, and you could just move on, I'll show you.
Look at
I cut
this.
them out and I group them by body, 2 bodies, 4 legs, 4 arms, and so on, and I send them back to them. This year, I started embroidering the faces. All of the dolls have to have
Look
their
at
own
them.
personalities. So I have now started, as of January, embroidering all their faces. And so I'm actually working on some of them here today, but we'll be doing 500 of them. And we try to put different color eyes, and some are boys and some are girls. The girls have eyelashes, the boys don't. The girls have lipstick, the boys don't. And then they go to the creators who sew the dolls together and they sew them together and put their little, with their faces and everything. They put hair on them, and then they create the finished dolls.
Look
and
at
that
how
is what
cute
they
those
look like.
are.
Now, the purpose of the Giving Doll is and I think that's the last slide we have on
Okay,
that one.
thank
The
you.
purpose of the Giving Doll is to give comfort to anyone in need. That includes primarily younger children, maybe
Right.
children with disabilities, children in nursing homes, children who are sick in hospitals and things like that, plus the elderly who may have Alzheimer's or dementia, who are
Right.
in nursing homes who have no one left to hug. And so the dolls are given,
Fabulous.
you cannot purchase them. They can only be given to someone in need. If you would like to participate in making a Giving Doll or ask for a donation of a Giving Doll to someone in need, I believe you have the website up. It's thegivingdoll.org.
Excellent.
And that was the first one. The other one is Quilts of Valor. Now, Quilts of Valor is a direct result of my involvement with AccuQuilt, because I bought so many dies, I want to go me. And I said, well, what am I going to do with it? This is the second one I won that I got because I bought so many items. So I looked around and I found my local Quilts of Valor group about a year and a
There you
half or
go.
2 years ago. And these are the ladies. I called them up and said, hi, can I be part of your group? I want to donate a Go Me. And they go, what is that? So we went through it. I taught them how to use it. And I actually subsequently bought them a Ready, Set, Go, which I donated to them. And now we make quilts. Not only do they make the quilts, I have a long arm and I do all the long arming for them now for this one particular group. This was the first one I designed for them, and they liked it because it was a heart and it also had a V for victory. They have,
Sure.
and so I quilted that one. Go through the slides. There's just a few. I just really want to show you some of the quilts.
I love this one,
actually
Marianne.
came the day I decided to join. She came to me with this pattern. She said, we have 4-inch stars and we have 6-inch stars and we have 8-inch stars and we have 12-inch stars. I don't know what to do. I said, give them to me. I've got 4 cubes. I can cut them for you.
Yeah.
So that's where we started. So I cut those out for them. And you could just keep going through the slides. They're really just to show some of the ones. I've quilted this one for them.
Look at how
and
pretty
we're
that
actually
is.
starting to design our own quilts now.
Right.
And you could just keep going through. And that's the one I designed for them. That was done in silver. And then I think they have another one that's done in gold. Here's
Look
just
at
an
that.
example of it on the quilt machine, and that's the machine I have behind me. So I do all their free motion quilting. I do not have a digitized machine. This is actually this year's, the 2022 Quilts of Valor. No, it's the 2021 Quilts of Valor signature block. And that was the one we made for the donation to give to the Delaware chapter to donate to a veteran returning from one of the commitments he had overseas. And they were all
Fabulous.
signed by
That's
people just
wonderful.
wishing them well. And this is just another example. There's, I think, 1 or 2 more you can show of the different quilts that have been done.
I like that one
Yeah,
with
I
the
do that one.
love that.
That's just, and I just do it free motion, or I use a ruler on them. And that is the other one, just like we did the other one, but it's silver and gold now. And I think there may be one more. That was actually done. The woman who was giving this to her husband had his embroidered arm patches, and they were included in
Wow.
the design. And that's actually an expanded Bethlehem Star, that quilt is.
What a cool
I think
idea to put that in the
maybe-
center.
that's one of the other ones I designed for them. That, if you notice, is the Chimney Sweep.
Yeah, so
Oh,
in
yeah.
2 weeks, we're going to make a patriotic version of it on our Wednesday show.
And we
Fabulous.
used your half square setting triangles for that, and the 4-inch star.
Excellent.
So, and then that is, they give me panel quilts a lot. So there you can see we use Lemoyne Star and some
Sure.
strip cutters on it. And that's my back deck. I do all the quilting. And that's the one that I actually made for one of the challenges. And I donated that for quilts, Quilt Around the World, which I did not register, which I'm going to do as soon as the show
Marianne,
is
after
over.
you're done talking to us, go online and register it.
Yes.
That's exactly what I'm going to do. And that's where it all happens. That's my long arm.
That's
But
the
the thing,
magic.
the point I want to make is Quilts of Valor has state chapters in every state. If you need a quilt quilted, go to your local chapter. If you have
Yeah.
a long arm and you want to volunteer, go to your local chapter and say, I have a long arm.
Yeah,
I
please
can
don't
do
reach out
quilting."
to Marianne
Don't call
and
me.
say, please quilt this
Right,
one.
you'll want to
Yeah.
go through your local chapter.
Local chapter, and I'm sure that
And they
there are
have
people.
notices all the time. You just go quiltsofvalor.org or thegiving.org. And if you want to participate and volunteer, get in touch with them. If you need help, get in touch with them.
Excellent.
So, and
Oh,
the one thing
Marianne.
I'll say,
Go ahead.
no, the last thing I was just going to say is I could never have done any of this without you guys.
Thank you.
The AccuQuilt system, and I said it to Pam the first day she hired me. It changed my life. The AccuQuilt system is to me what the sewing machine was to my grandmother.
Yeah.
About it.
Yeah.
What I can do, I could never have done without you guys. So thank you.
Thank you, Marianne.
Thank you.
It has been so fun having you with
Yes.
us today, and thank you for sharing your great charities with us. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Oh, quilters. Now, like we mentioned, there are so many great dyes to use for making quilts
Right.
to donate. I mean,
Right.
you just saw such a great variety just coming off of Marianne's long arm. So we've talked about the 5-inch cube and the 12-inch cube, and those work with the Go and the Go Big fabric cutters, and the 5-inch works with the Go Me.
It does.
But what about that Go Me?
That's right. And since it's summer,
Yep.
that little Go Me is just the right size to take along on vacation or camping. I bet you wish you would have had it last week for a couple
Oh,
of days.
ever so much.
Well, we have got some big blocks that you can cut using dies that fit through the Go Me. So any die that is 6 inches wide or smaller can
Right.
fit through the Go Me. And
Right.
we have a couple of really great ones like this one. And when I have to always make sure this is not the pin cushion.
I just thought about that when you
I just
pulled
want
it
you
up.
to know that.
This is-
I have been known to hold up the wrong die. This is, what die is this?
This is the bear's paw.
It is. This is bear's paw. And bear's paw is great because it cuts the big square and the half square triangles and the rectangles you need.
And it's going to make a 14-inch finished block. Look at this.
This is the best way to make this.
Now, this is done in a standard 2-color, but you could totally take it scrappy if you wanted to.
Right. If you live in Canada, please make these colors. Yeah.
Yes, red and white.
Yeah, right.
There you go.
I mean, I just think this is so pretty. And you could totally make it patriotic colors and
You
make
could do
those big
so many different
14.
things with it.
So the great thing is these half square triangles, right? We had to cut off the dog ears. We can sew them together. And everything is going to fit together perfectly. You know, when Marianne talks about, you know, how AccuQuilt changed your life, there are blocks I would have never, ever in my whole life made without a
And
die.
this next one is one of them.
Yep.
It's called the Hunter Star.
Yep.
And this makes 6-inch units that go together to make a 12-inch finished block. And it has been a top seller since the day it came out, really.
Right. And we've screen printed the letters for you so that you have all the letters that you need. And look, these have specialized dog ears here. And it has an A and an AR, which
Yep.
is a right, and the B and the C. So it really only has 4 shapes. So you could totally make it 2 colors. You could totally make it scrappy. Here's one that I made that is just scrappy.
Yes,
Look at how fun this is.
look at that.
And everything went together beautifully. Just so pretty, pretty, pretty.
Yes.
Or you could do a 2-color block, which is pretty standard, right?
Yes.
Don't you think most people do this?
I do.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah, and you're gonna need a 6x12 mat. Oh, make sure with Bear's Paw you have that 6x24 mat.
oh, yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
so
Don't
it will
forget
fit
those.
through your Gocube.
All right, now we were talking about dies that are fast, easy, and fun. We have to talk about this next one. This is the Go Crossed Canoes die. Now it is on a 10x10 die board, so it's not gonna fit in your Go Me. It's gonna fit in either a Go or a Go Big. But this is so fast and easy, and it's fun to make, and it's so versatile.
And make sure you have a 10x10 cutting mat.
Yes.
So again, we've screen printed, it just has 4 shapes, the A and the AR, which stands for right, the B in the center, and the C. And look, this is the block that it makes. Erica is the biggest supporter of cross canoes.
I
She
am.
think is the most underused
It is
die.
underappreciated.
Yeah.
It is certainly
So
underappreciated.
get you one today.
That's right. You can get a lot of different looks. This is a 9-inch finish block.
Right, and look how fun that is because we totally made it patriotic colors. So it would be fun to use like in a Quilts of Valor if you were doing
Right.
it. 9-inch blocks are really good size.
Yes, but any color, pair it up with another bob, pair it up with mix and match blocks.
And is it true that AccuQuilt has a 9-inch square now?
Why, indeed it is.
It is true.
It is.
So you could pair this up and do embroidery on those big 9-inch squares.
Yes.
You could turn it on point. Oh, look at how cool
Oh, look at how cool it is on point.
In my head,
Just
I've not thought about that.
Look at that.
And then you could use 9-inch setting triangles.
Get the setting triangles. You
All right.
gotta have them.
Now that you've seen several bobs in action, let's take a look at some projects.
Oh, I like how you think. Okay, let's see what we've got here. We're gonna start with this one. This is a really big one. We're gonna leave it folded up.
We are going to leave it folded.
This is the Go Scrappy Hunter Star throw quilt pattern.
And this is by my good friend Christina Morrow of Tomorrow's Quilts. Okay, I got to tell you a fun story about this. So when I used to travel with this quilt, and Christina brought it in to me, and she said, "Now listen, I just took all the fabric that I had big scraps of, and I just cut it all up, and I put it together. You'll notice that the gray is scrappy as well as
Yes,
the
it
colors."
is.
And she goes, for a hot minute, I thought, ooh, I wonder if that's going to work. And look at how beautiful this is.
It is gorgeous. It is
Absolutely
gorgeous.
stunning. And it's a nice big quilt, and look at that fun background.
And she did
made
some,
it scrappy.
she pieced the scrappy backing, and
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Now, if you're thinking, what does a Hunter Star normally look like then?
Yes.
Well, here we go.
Here we
Here's
go.
the traditional 2-color look. And this is the red and white. Again,
Right.
red and white, and blue.
So the die makes 1 6-inch square.
Right.
And so you need 4 to make the 12-inch block.
Exactly.
So normally I would tell you to lay down, depending, 6 layers of fabric. But depending on, like, if you're just going to make it all different colors, I would just do 4 layers. Like if I was making a blue block and a red block and a yellow
Right.
block, kind of thing. Do a little math in your head.
Yeah, just start cutting.
Yeah. Just start cutting.
Just start cutting. All right.
Spoken like a true quilter.
There you go. Now here is the Go Walking Barefoot wall hanging. This could also be a great little quilt, a little child-sized quilt.
Yes, it
would go
only has
together
4 blocks.
so quickly and be ready to quilt and donate for you. This is a 14-inch finished block, and then again with sashing added,
Yeah.
it would just make a really quick, easy project. You could make it in so many colorways, but I do love the blues.
The bubble blue on the back is
Bubble is adorable.
fabulous.
All right, then this is the Go Bear's Paw quilt. And this one here, we've got it set on point, which changes it up totally, doesn't it?
It does. It looks like a little family crest.
And then we've got, again, borders on it and a stripe binding.
A stripe binding for me.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it. All right, quilters, all of these patterns are available as free downloads at AccuQuilt.com. Be sure to get your patterns downloaded before your bob die arrives, so be all ready to go.
Now, quilters, all the patterns in our trunk show today are available for you to use on Go Quilt.
When was the last time you used Go Quilt?
Before I left on vacation.
Friday was the last time you used it.
You can take a photo of your own fabrics and enter them into Go Quilt to see what your project is going to look like before you even make your first cut. It's fabulous.
Fabulous.
You can also use all the numerous fabric collections from our sponsors.
There's some Moda and Michael Miller and all of the friends.
Right. Or you can just use solid colors as well. Plus, we've got thousands of quilt patterns on there for you to help envision your next quilt project. So here is a deeper look to help you get started.
Check it out. We always dance to that. Producer
We do.
Joe always dances. All
Always.
right, quilters, early in the show, we asked, what is your favorite charity to give to, and what did they do? And Madison has provided with some answers here.
That's right. There's no voting poll today, so we had you tell us in the comments wherever you stream our show, and we've selected some of your answers to take a look at. So the first one was Wendy B,
Hi, Wendy.
and her favorite charity is Victory Junction, a hole-in-the-wall gang camp for special needs kids. Each child receives a quilt as a camper.
Okay, I might cry.
I love that.
I might check that out. That is so
That
sweet.
is fabulous. That's been one of the great parts about this campaign,
Right.
is getting to learn about some organizations that we
Right.
hadn't heard of before.
Okay, we gotta remember to keep that. Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Okay, so the next one was Carol W.
Hi, Carol.
And she donates to St. Jude's.
Excellent. What a worthy cause. And Linda D follows our good example, and she donates to the Ronald McDonald House. I'm excited to go make meals.
I know, that's going to be great.
Yeah.
Angela G. donates to Tunnel to Towers.
I don't know what that is. Do you know?
Yes, but not the particulars.
Okay.
So
We'll
it's
check
in
it out.
memory of 9/11 and the first
Ah.
responders.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
And Becky W., she said she donates to Make-A-Wish. Her son was granted a wish back in 1986 and was asked to be a spokesperson for the organization. Oh, that makes me happy. It'll always have a special place in her heart. What a great charities.
Thank you for sharing. We
Thank
know
you.
there were a lot more too.
I love that. I love that when you get a group of quilters together and say, what do you donate to? All of the answers are different.
They're all different.
So one of my favorite charities to give to is Ronald McDonald House. I was glad that Emily was here. And I think that not only can you donate quilts, but you can donate time. And for me, sometimes that's easier. You know, I can get there and, do some things and
meals or holiday meals.
Right. What's your favorite charity?
Well, I have a soft spot for Project Linus because I taught my daughter's little Girl Scout group how to sew and how to make their first quilt and donated it to Project Linus when we lived in Washington State, and I've been a little partial to them ever since.
And we are a big supporter of Project Linus.
We are.
Donate every year to their annual campaign. All right, quilters, it is time to give away our final prizes of the day. Moda and their publishers, Martin Gale, have more All-Star books. Okay, so we looked at those. Let's look at these, Erica.
Look at these.
Hold on here.
Oh, wait.
Oh, were those the ones? Hang on.
Are these the ones we looked at?
Oh, they're just 2 sets.
Oh, okay.
Good thing there are people here to tell us.
Thank heavens.
Okay. All right, so here's our
We
second
might run
set.
amok.
I like this one, Soft Spot. It's for like pillows and comfy stuff.
I like that. All right. The third lucky registered viewer and winner of 2 Moda All-Star books is, drum roll please, Amy R. from Whittingham, Vermont.
Congratulations. And the final lucky winner of 2 Moda All-Star books is, drum roll please, Elizabeth D. of Slippery Rock, Pennsylvania. Congratulations to our winners today. You are going to love these books.
Oh, they're fabulous. All right, and a huge, huge shout out to both Moda and Martin Gale for sponsoring today's event.
Moda, it's not just for grunge.
There you
They make
go.
books and everything. Be sure to join us again next week on Tuesday. I know it's going to go so fast. June 21st at 12 noon Central Time for a new event called Fan Your Creativity, which we might need because it is super hot
so
here in
hot.
Nebraska today.
Yes. Now, we will be relaunching a fan favorite die, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So be sure to register for the event on our website.
I think we're going to give stuff away.
I bet we will, and I bet you need to be registered in order to win.
You do. Quilters, remember we have special offers for you today. To get your order in during the show, use your phone's camera to capture the QR code. It will take you directly to our site.
If you don't have a QR reader, open a new tab in your browser. Type in AccuQuilt.com/party to go to the site and place your order.
Okay, you can get our newly released Gocube Mix and Match 5-inch block and its bundles, so companions, corners, and angles, at 15% off. No code is needed to redeem this offer at checkout. We will just lovingly put them in your box.
It's a big deal.
It is
so
a
you
big
don't want to
deal.
miss it. Be sure to also check out our summer warehouse sale for selected items that are marked down up to 50% off. Now, this is a great time to stock up on several products to enhance your next projects. No code needed for that offer.
And don't forget, quilters, you'll receive double reward points when you place your order today. Those reward points you receive can be used towards future AccuQuilt purchases.
You can also find our products at your local AccuQuilt retailer. To find the retailer closest to you, just check the store locator at the top of the page at AccuQuilt.com. And remember, we've got financing options.
We do.
For more details, visit AccuQuilt.com/financing. Probably good to throw that in with all these sales going on.
Yes, I think so. All right, it is truly time for Eric and I to go home and sew. And we hope you are as inspired by our Quilt the World campaign, Paying It Forward campaign as we are, and hope that you consider making your own quilt and donating it.
Like we mentioned at the top of the event, stick around after today's show ends to see a montage of all the quilts that our community has donated to help covering the world one quilt at a time so far this year.
And many of our go-getters have donated, and it's just great. All right, thanks so much for joining us today. If you've been waiting for our show to end by, now is that time. Here's the link. Get everything you need before items sell out.
And remember, at AccuQuilt, we're here to help you cut time.
So you can quilt more. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.